Hi, it's Chantel here from Fiberific. Welcome to a Thursday Quickie. Today we're going to talk my top 5 tips for getting prepared for your knitting and crochet projects. Tip number 1, pick your pattern. So you need to go in, find your pattern, whether it's on Ravelry, wherever, but generally speaking, there's a lot of patterns, even if you get them externally, that are on Ravelry. Go and have a look, check out the projects that have been done. You can learn so much from other people, as we know. Go in, read what they've commented, read if they've made any pattern adjustments, if they noticed any errata. Check your pattern version, make sure you've got the most recent. Sometimes I've found that in doing this, I've realized, you know what, there are so many little things with this pattern, I think I'm going to try another pattern. Because at the end of the day, we want success. We're putting so much work into something, we want it to be good at the end. Tip number 2 is your yarn. So when you're going yarn shopping, unless you're going stash diving, which is a whole nother issue, but when you're going yarn shopping, pick up that extra ball of yarn. I know that picking up the extra ball of yarn increases the cost of your project. As far as I'm aware, designers don't allow for your swatch in the yarn listings that they put into your pattern. And if I'm making a garment, I absolutely swatch it. Tip number 3 is swatching. Swatch, people, swatch. At the end of the day, it saves you time. I know all the, oh, but it takes so long to make a swatch and then you never use it. Right? But if you make a swatch, you work out if you're getting gauge. You work out if you are getting the same measurements as the designer who's measured out the complete garment. And I'm not going to go on and on and on about it because everyone goes on about it. And I'm sure there's plenty of places that you can find information on why you should swatch. But why I think you should swatch is that when you wash your garment, wash your swatch with it. And if you have to make any repairs, you have an equally-ish laundered piece of yarn to put in. So you don't have brand new, bright, shiny yarn in your older garment. And that's why I say swatch. Is A, you get the right measurements, and B, you have emergency repair kits. Tip number 3 is read the pattern all the way through. And I'm not talking quick flick, flick, flick. I'm talking read through every single page. If your pattern is 10 pages long, you go through every page because you need to be putting together every single thing that you need for your pattern. And while looking around this room, I can see 3 different piles of stitch markers. If you get to a point in your pattern and it says place marker and you don't have a marker handy because at the start of the pattern it didn't say you needed a marker, then you got to get up off your butt. You got to go and find a marker and you're losing knitting time where you could have had it all prepared. So I say grab your markers and double check, all the stitches that they talk about in the pattern. Maybe bookmark some YouTube videos if it's one that you're a little iffy on, and have it so that when you're ready to get to it, it's right there. Tip number 5 is just sometimes now is not the time to knit. I know that is a really unusual thing for me to say, but sometimes now is not the time to be knitting or crocheting on your garment. If you've been working on a project for weeks on end or even, a couple of days, if you get home and you're a bit stressed out or you're a little bit tense and you start knitting away, it's going to produce a different gauge. Now, you're not going to mean to because what's going on is you're angry knitting. You're like, God, you bad day. And you automatically tense and your fingers pull yarn tighter. Everything happens. So you're better off to have another project for your angry craft where gauge is not important, or it doesn't matter if the stitches don't look completely identical, because what will happen is you'll knit through, say you're knitting a stockinette cardigan or jumper or something, and you'll look through and you'll be able to tell exactly which rows you did when you were stressed out because they will look different. So sometimes now is not the time to knit or crochet. So they were my top 5 tips on getting prepared and working on your projects. If you've got any other tips that you have that you would like to share with us, pop them in the comments down below. I love reading in the comments. We're all learning from each other. I'm really finding it's being a really nice read, having a look through the comments. We're starting to have conversations in there and I'm really enjoying it. I like the little community that we're building for ourselves here. Thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing. It's time for you to fill your universe with fibre fun. Off you go. I'll see you Tuesday.